William, lovely to catch up. Thank you so much for your time, and well done on good timing, I suppose, with the Farmers Adverse Events Trust kicking into gear. Tell us how it's all coming together.
Look, the Adverse Events Trust has been in existence for a couple of decades now, and I guess it's getting a bit more profile as the more and more events start happening. I mean, it was obviously very useful during the Christchurch and Kaikoura earthquakes, but it's been set up really to provide funding for relief to farmers during adverse events, just as the name says.
So how does the Adverse Events Trust compare with the Rural Support Trusts doing similar work in these terrible situations?
The Rural Support Trust, as I understand it, sort of grew out of Federated Farmers in the first place. So we do, and many of the officers in the Rural Support Trust come from Federated Farmers. So there's a very close relationship between Federated Farmers and the Rural Support Trust. So we're working together. This isn't a competition. This is just how do we get, do our bit and garner the resources to actually help these farmers who have really been hammered.
At the moment, I mean, I suppose it's a bit of an obvious question, but where is the greatest need?
Yeah, well, certainly to start with, the greatest need was just getting food and supplies, medicines, etc., to farmers. I mean, even water, although most farmers do have their own tanks, and they will have been isolated from the dirty rivers as a sort of priority. But just getting that communication going, because farmers had no electricity, no telephone, no roads in and out. We're completely isolated. So I guess in terms of the greatest need, we've been helping fly in food, fly in generators, and get people just back on their feet so that they can survive, which is the number one priority. The number two priority is that their stock survives, and the number three priority is that their assets survive.
So are you having a great deal of demand? I mean, are people coming to you, or how do they get that help? 0800
Farming, and so people ring either for to get help or to give help. And in fact, on our website at the Adverse Events Trust website and through Federated Farmers website as well, you can also put in donations of money, donations of time and skills. And it's time and skills that are actually of greatest necessity, particularly as we're starting to get into the recovery phase. And we've had more than 500 people come to volunteer for the Farming Army to help rebuild fences and tracks, etc. So that's huge.
I guess that's the thing, isn't it? When these events happen, it's all hands to the pump, literally almost in this situation. But people are there, they want to help. Then as the weeks go by, they've obviously got their own commitments, and that sort of help does tend to dissipate somewhat. So I presume now is important a time as any, just to keep that help coming.
Yeah, look, I think that's actually the biggest challenge is to make sure that we get help in the weeks and months to come, because if you think about fencing, and fencing is a big need at the moment. A lot of fences have been wiped out, and partly because a lot of the slash that came down, blocked all the bridges, blew the stock banks out, and then the logs just went down and ploughed everything over that was standing up. So that's why you see a lot of orchards being bowled over. There's also bowled over fences as well. So fences are a real priority, and tracks as well, because not only was the water going over the flat land, but there were slips occurring in the hill country, and so just getting those fences done, and people can't get that done quickly. For a start, some land is still moving, so there's absolutely no point trying to put a fence up if the land is still moving down moving down the valley.
So advice, if someone sees, or has a need, what's the best thing? Just to go to the website and either donate or offer some help?
There's also a Give a Little page, and we've raised around $200,000 through the Give a Little page, which just shows incredible generosity from other farmers and from the New Zealand public and people, in fact, all around the world. So this has been fantastic. And look, there are other fundraising areas as well that organisations that have got a lot of funds in. But the job is huge. I mean, I was just looking at some of the numbers. $200,000. There's about 2,000 farmers who have applied for aid from the government. So that's I guess about $100 each from our fund. So it just shows the scale of what's going. $200,000 is what individual farmers are suffering in terms of loss, let alone 2,000 farmers. So the scale is enormous.